In the gym and in the car. With our advice you could go far. We fuck things up and we make mistakes. And talk about our sexy dates. We host events and go to clubs. But most of all we're still in love. It's getting hard for this to rhyme. Just as well, 'cause it's bed hopping time.
Hello and welcome to the Bed Hoppers podcast. My name is Mr. H.
I'm Mrs. H.
Thank you for joining us today. This episode is going to be a little bit of a different one. In fact, hopefully it might be a short one and we'll knock it out with Wilder Plume and you'll be on your way and you'll be like, oh, that's what they've been up to, right?
It's an update.
It's an update on what we've been doing over the last few weeks.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. So I would say that if you get triggered by stories of hospitals and serious illness and near-death experiences, this is probably not the episode for you.
Trigger warning, yeah.
Trigger warning. Have heavy trigger warning.
Yeah, extremely.
Extremely.
I'm quite triggered.
And we thought we'd get on the mics and just basically talk through what's happened and give you an idea as to why we haven't really been massively on podcasting, haven't been doing the social media stuff that much, and kind of where we're at right now, right?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's important to talk about these things.
It is. So do you want me to try and tell this story? Do you want me to try
I can start it and then you're going to have to take over because there's bits I don't know.
Okay.
And then we can work this out.
All right. So let the...
Yes. The storytelling commence.
Yes, commence.
Oh dear. Right, well I'll start because I can remember this bit.
Okay.
All right. So you may recall we did talk about the fact that I had some impending surgery.
Correct.
And this was planned surgery on my neck. It was some discs in my neck that simply, and I say simply, just needed replacing. Now that wasn't like a very, very minor surgery. It was quite big, but it was straightforward.
Yeah.
Right? It was planned. It was all good.
In theory, it was to be you go in on the Monday.
And come in on the Tuesday.
On like late Tuesday. That was the kind of theory, right?
And it was on the 1st of June.
Yes.
All was well. So I went in to the hospital at my scheduled time. All was lovely. And I'd already had some pre-ops prior to this to check my general health and everything was good. Right. So I went in 1st of June and they told me I was first on my list for surgery.
Yep.
Which was wonderful and because I was very hungry.
Yep.
Nil by mouth. And so I went down to the operating theatre at 2 p.m. and I walked down in quite good health, really, perfect health, apart from my neck, and went into the operating theatre and lay down and they prepped me for the surgery. They put a cannula in my hand, gave me some little pre-op kind of woozy medicine. All good.
All good.
All good.
Now, you said to me, because I was going to wait with you.
Yes.
And I was, wait in your little room, because you're having this done in a private hospital thing,
yes.
Right? So I was going to wait there and you said, no, go home, get the food delivery in, let the pets out, and then come back in a couple of hours. All be fine. See you in a couple of hours.
Yeah, because it was about 3 hours long. I
drive the 40 minutes or whatever it was because of traffic and roadworks and all this sort of bullshittery. And apologies if we're adding too much detail, but I think it's important for us to sort of tell this in our own way, I guess. I get home, I get through the door, pick up the shopping, let the pets out, sit down, and I literally get a call from the hospital saying that you've taken a turn, that you've gone into shock, and that I need to get there now.
And I know nothing about this.
You know nothing about this.
I'm asleep.
So I raced back to the hospital, probably one of the longest 40-minute drives I've...
And this must have been about, what, 2:30, 3?
Yeah, 3-ish or so, thereabouts. And I get there, and the general manager of the place comes down and speaks to me for 5 minutes to brief me about what I'm about to see, because they won't let me straight in to see you.
And I was still in the operating theatre at this point?
You hadn't even got that far. So you're in a sort of side room where they administer the anaesthesia. So what transpires is that you'd gone into anaphylactic shock. They were able to stabilise you. It was very, very close. And we subsequently found out that it was very close in that we very, very nearly lost you. But I didn't quite get that message until a bit later on. So they briefed me for 5-10 minutes, and then the surgeon who was going to be doing the work came out and briefed me. And then we went in I went in, and there were about 10 people in the room, and they were about to transport you from the private hospital into the ICU at Southampton General, which is just literally across the road. Basically, you were bright pink. There was hundreds of wires on you. There was stuff down your mouth. You were really swollen. Your fingers were really swollen. Your neck was really swollen. And as I walked into the room, they just fell silent, all 10 people. And it was almost, I think it's like when someone has died in a hospital, they go very, there is a respectful piece. And they were very respectful to me, but they just went silent. And I realized, I knew it was not good, but I realized how bad it was. And I spoke with the anaesthetist, and he was very good. And he said that he would be going with you in the ambulance, in the transport, because he needed to immediately tell them what had happened, how much of whatever you'd had, and what was going on. So I held your hand for a second, I kissed you goodbye, and they said that they didn't know what the outcome was going to be at all. They couldn't predict either way. So I walked over with the general manager to the hospital, and then ended up waiting, I don't know, 2-3 hours before I was able to see you in the ICU intensive care unit.
So the manager walked over there with you?
With me, yeah.
Ooh.
Or the general head nurse or whoever it was. She was very lovely, very kind. And then I was able to get into the ICU and see you. In the meantime, obviously, I'd alerted children and friends, and just basically sort of told them what I knew, which was really, at that stage, very little. So I get into the ICU. You are hooked up to litres of adrenaline and fluids, and you're basically, I guess, in a coma. In a coma. And intubated, yeah. And you've got tubes in you because your throat is so swollen that needs to be there to prevent you from choking, and your blood pressure had dropped insanely, and that was a result of the shock. So they were putting adrenaline into you to get that up, along with fluid and all the other stuff that they were trying to give you. And then our daughter showed up an hour or two later, and I think at that point that was really challenging, and I think I lost it a bit then because I'd been staying quite strong just to get through that bit, and that was really heartbreaking. So she stayed around for a little bit, and then they let me stay till about, 9:15, which is well past the sort of visiting hours. Just sat there holding your hand, stroking your hair, and they were talking to you as though you were around. Hey, Caroline, I'm like, oh, I like your tattoos. Oh, we're just going to put this new cannula in, and we're just going to do this, and we're just going to do that. They were very good. In fact, the NHS have been incredible, and that will be a theme that comes up a lot, our health service. But basically, they said to me that over the course of the night, your blood pressure had to increase. We didn't know what state you're going to be in when you came round, whether you'd still have your mental faculties, whether you'd still be able to do anything, really. And they said that if they phoned you in the night, so leave your phone and we'll phone you in the night. If we phone, it won't be good.
Oh God.
That was. I mean, they weren't like as blunt as that, but that was the message. So I wrote you a note. I wrote a little message to you on my notepad and left it on your bag for you in case you woke up. And then they said I could call you at 9 because they do like a shift change at 8 in the morning. And that night it's fucking awful. It was one of the worst nights I've had, and I've never not wanted a phone call so much in my entire life. And you know how your phone goes on to like sleep mode or night mode? Like, how do we turn that off? We don't know. We set it up once and that's it, and it's gone like set there forever. And then I was worried that I'd missed the call, so I kept waking up and checking my phone. And I got to, managed to get a little bit of sleep, but it got to 9 o'clock and I phoned them. And that was terrifying because I didn't know what I was going to find. And fortunately, there was some good news in that you were starting to come around. You'd started waking up. You'd been able to write a little bit, and that you were very concerned over where I was. But obviously, this is 18 hours after you had your operation. So you're out for 18 hours. You've woken up in a different hospital. You've not had the operation that you went in for.
Different day.
It's a different day. You've got tubes down you that shouldn't be there, and you're groggy as fuck because you've been out of it. So they gave you a pen and paper to write down stuff, and it was like you know, having seen it later, it's like the ravings of a madman, but it's, you know, I was just so happy that you were awake. And then they said that I could come in to see you at 2. So during that time, you know, I guess you can chime in a bit here, but they tested your mental faculties. They sort of looked at all this basic stuff, and they said that you, in terms of the mental stuff, you were okay.
Yeah.
Like they felt that you were in a good place and that you would be fine. And that was something else.
So my memory was going to sleep.
Yeah.
I had the woozy pre-med stuff, the like propofol, whatever, fentanyl, and then all I remember was going to sleep. And then the next thing I remember was being like spoken like loudly in my face, like opening my eyes and people yelling at me basically, okay, come on, open your eyes, calling me by my name. And all I remember hearing initially was, it's Tuesday, you're in intensive care in Southampton General. So that was the first words I heard.
Yeah.
As I sort of got woken up from my medical coma. Very confused. Rapidly realised I couldn't talk or swallow or make a sound or anything. And then realised there was an enormous fat tube in my throat that was breathing for me.
Yeah.
And there were just like a million people faces like all around me, beeping and tubes and drains and all sorts. So I was confused, very, very confused as to where I was, what it was, how it was a different day in a different hospital, what. And I realised that something had gone wrong because the thing when I went to sleep, I think I expected to wake up and have a pain in my neck or something. Yeah. I didn't have a pain in my neck. I just had pain everywhere. So
I think that's fair.
Yeah. And then realised I couldn't talk. So started like making hand gestures to want to write something because that was the only thing I could think of doing. And got given a bit of paper. I have no idea what I wrote because I couldn't really see what I was doing. And then gentle voices just kept telling me I was intubated. And I would remain intubated for a few hours because they wanted to make sure I could breathe. My lung function was working before they could take the tubes out. And I did come around a bit, but obviously couldn't talk.
They gave you my note. And
they
then
gave me your
the
note about an hour after I woke up, I think. Yeah. And I realised then there was things in my neck, things on my legs, like things everywhere coming out of me, tubes. And they sort of briefly explained that I'd gone into anaphylaxis from the anaesthetic and then just let me kind of rest a bit, I think.
Yeah.
And I was told you were going to come in and see me.
Yeah. As soon as I could get through the door, I was I was there. I think, so we, you know, between us, we'd both spoken to the anaesthetist who I think, you know, did a fantastic job in that he was able to save your life. Yeah. I think when I spoke to him on the day, he was calm as fuck. Speaking to the next day, he was like,
was he?
He really thought that he was going to lose you. And I think it's fair to say that your vitals went as low as they can go without you actually dying. Yeah. Which was, you know, quite a shock. You know, at the time they're like, we've stabilized you, you know, we're doing the best we can. We don't know what the future looks like, but we didn't quite realize how close that was. Now, they kept pumping you full of adrenaline because they needed
3 litres of adrenaline.
I think it was like 3 litres or something stupid. Yeah. They needed to get your heart rate up. Yeah. Because the anaphylactic shock causes it to drop significantly.
From what I gather, the blood pressure bottomed out, like went low as it could go, like you say, and the heart rate went as high as it could go. Yeah. And then it obviously all went the other way, I think. And
So the good news was when I saw you, I was so relieved that you were alive. And at that point you'd had the tube just taken out and you could talk a little bit and you were still very groggy, but that was just like brilliant. Miracle.
Wonderful stuff.
You'd stayed on ICU for a couple of days. Yeah. And then they transferred you to like a general ward. Yeah. And then they sort of said, you'll be all right. You can go home. Yeah, they were making plans for me to go home and rest and recover at home once they took all the things out. But then what we found is that the details suggested...
The blood test
suggested that you'd had some sort of large cardiac problem.
Some kind of cardiac event from the huge shock to the heart where they explained it to me that imagine someone squeezing your heart as hard as they can. and then your heart gets very, very distressed and traumatized.
Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine.
It's well,
I mean,
have to imagine.
it leaks troponin, which is like the protein in
Which
your
they,
heart.
as we discovered, they call it crying heart.
Crying
which is
heart syndrome.
very whimsical,
Very whimsical.
For that.
So your heart is literally crying protein. Yeah.
Basically what they discovered is
Yeah.
that the anaphylactic shock had triggered a heart attack.
Yes.
So you weren't allowed to go anywhere because they had to monitor your blood pressure, your heart rate. So you
Yeah.
were wired up to all sorts of telemetry and then pretty much rushed into
A cardiac ward.
cardiac ward,
Yeah.
which you stayed in a cardiac ward for a day.
Yeah.
And they were very, very good. And they moved you to what they call the young person's cardiac ward. But having seen the people that are in there, I'm not entirely convinced.
I was in the coronary care unit for a day and a night sort of thing, where they had me hooked up to this TV thing, really, where they could see what was going on. And my heart was kind of blipping around here and there with like atrial fibrillation. And I guess where it was still going through a bit of trauma.
Well, I think there was a couple of things at play. One is that, we are both on high blood pressure medicine. Thanks, parents, for that wonderful inheritance there. And you hadn't had those tablets.
No, since the Sunday.
Since the Sunday. So, of course, there was that, but also the trauma to your heart had essentially caused this issue. So they had to stabilise that and work to sort that out, but also get you in for a scan to see whether your heart had been damaged.
So I had an echogram. Yeah, echogram.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I had. And they came to the ward to do that. Actually, they came to the ward to do that at my bedside. And you were allowed to stay for that, weren't you?
And then they realised that you needed a bigger scan, a better scan.
Yeah, better scan.
So that was another couple of days wait to get to that stage.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, you seem to be sort of, your blood pressure was high.
Yeah.
But you seem to be getting like a little bit stronger and a little bit more.
Yeah. I was allowed to get out of bed. They took the catheter out and I was allowed to make some very small steps to the bathroom and stuff like that.
Which for me was like amazing.
Yeah.
To see that. However, you went for the heart scan.
Oh, I know.
And the good news on the heart scan was they just felt that your heart had been roughed up.
Traumatized.
Very traumatized by the anaphylactic shock. However, just by pure passing, they saw that there were some nodules on your lungs.
I know.
So
oh, God.
they can't scan the lung properly because you've gone in for the heart thing.
Yeah.
So we then had to wait another few days for the lung
another
element.
scan,
But of course, these nodules could have been trauma through the anaphylactic shock. They could have been scarring from previous illnesses, or they could have been something nefarious.
But we just didn't know because it was like an accidental. They saw it on the heart scan, so we had to do a better scan of the lungs.
So you pretty much had a shit sandwich, didn't you?
I
It's
had a
like,
really
hey, good news, heart is looking like getting better, and the levels of the crying heart going in the right direction. However,
nodules on your lung now.
Nodules on your lung.
So I had another few days wait for that.
So this pretty much takes us up to sort of a week and a half, 10 days after your initial anaphylactic shock.
Yeah.
So we get the lung scan.
Yeah.
And the good news is later that day, they tell us that they think that the nodules are just damage from the anaphylaxis. So that's, and in theory should be heading in the right direction and with rest and recovery.
CT scan in 11 weeks, but yes, it
but
should
hopefully
get better.
should be getting better and resolving itself. Fingers crossed. The other thing that it's done and that your blood signs are now showing is that there might have been
renal impairment.
Renal impairment, which is damage to your kidneys, which we think again is linked to this.
I'm almost certain it's linked to the anaphylaxis.
But the next step, so they sent you home on that Friday. We were able to get out very late on Friday night.
Yeah, like 8:30 in the evening.
Got you out in the car, or busted you out in a wheelchair, got you in the car and got you home. Then, because we live in a townhouse, there was a whole load of stairs, but we did that slowly and carefully.
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone so excited to be in a car. It's like when we take the dog for a walk and she's in the car and she's running around. It was almost like what you were doing. Can I put my head out the window? Is this fun?
So exciting to go home, but so scary because I was so weak, really, from just lying around for nearly 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Not walking anywhere. Too scared to move because it would set all the alarms off on my telemetry.
Well, that's the thing. So now we're...
A whole load of new meds for my heart now.
Yeah.
So beta blockers and blood thinners, another CT scan, and now some kidney tests.
So we think, so the heart seems to be on the right direction.
It
so
does. It just needs to recover.
Needs to recover.
Yeah.
Lungs we need to check in a couple of months.
God.
And kidneys we need to have a look and see what's going on and see what the indicators are. We're hoping that that's heading in the right direction with all the rest
I think
and
it's
stuff.
more, well, this is the last set of bloods we did. You need to get that checked out as well.
Yeah. So we're now 6 days of you being home, about that, 5-6 days. So I think, I think the good news is that that Meg has continued to be your cat.
Yeah,
she didn't completely turn to me. I want to say that throughout this, the sort of 2 weeks or whatever that you were in hospital, I've been there every day. I went there for like minimum 5-6 hours every day. I kind of kept the house going.
You're a single man.
No, I fucking wasn't. I didn't have the heart or the energy to do very much, to be fair. I think it was very, very challenging. And
I agree.
What I do want to say is that our friends, particularly our friends that we've met from this whole lifestyle thing, were incredible. People came in to see you. People drove down miles to see you.
I know.
We had calls from other countries. People reached out. People sent gifts, cards. Honestly, you lot, if you're listening to this, thank you.
My
it
son
made the world.
flew home from another country to see me.
Ironically, he was doing that anyway, but
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but being him, he managed to still be late by 2 days. So there's only
he flew in from Milan, and that was a surprise. So friends and family I just can't thank everyone enough. Everyone was amazing, and I know we've mentioned the NHS already, but I'll mention them again because they were nothing short of heroes.
Yeah,
They're
absolutely
tremendous. And my anaesthetist and surgeon came in every day to come and see me, where kept tracking me around the hospital. The anaesthetist, bless him, he was like, in 32 years this has happened. You're the second person. Yeah. Only in my 32 years.
What I love is that he's due to retire in August, and he's like, fucking hell, I'm getting too old for this shit. But he did a really good job of saving your life. So I can't knock him for being a bit scared and not wanting to do that so much afterwards.
They were all amazing. The NHS just can't do enough for you.
So I think broadly, we're now in a space where we're hoping that you're on the road to recovery.
I've got some allergy testing now.
Yeah, we've got allergy testing because we cannot pronounce
Rocuronium.
That's
the anaesthetic they use.
The anaesthetist would bet his house allegedly on it being the thing that you're
99%
allergic to.
certain
So
I'm allergic to it.
we just need to confirm that, and then you can wear a little cowbell that has that on the side, a little cowbell that gives away that information, lest anything else happens to you and they need to operate on you. They cannot give you that stuff because it
would kill me. Second time round.
No, I think at this stage you're recovering, and I think the good news is that because you are relatively healthy and your heart was healthy and your lungs were healthy in the first instance, I think you were able to survive it. That and obviously skilled medical professionals, but it's just amazing that you were able to get through that. And I think with recovery time and rest and just relaxing, you'll be able to get back to a decent state. The trouble is, you see, you don't like rest, and you are the world's most impatient patient.
No.
What I will also say, it cost me an absolute fucking fortune in Lego keeping you in there.
Oh, I built a lot of Lego.
If you get someone that doesn't know what to do, right, when they're in hospital, Lego's a really good fucking present because you're doing something constructive. You're actually making something. Yeah. You're taking your mind off it because you're just following instructions, and then you get something out of it. And I think that really helped you.
It really, really helped me. I couldn't focus on reading. I just couldn't sit down and switch off and read a book. I was just constant PTSD and flashbacks and all sorts from all of the trauma. So the Lego was amazing because and it was a good talking point. Yeah. Every night when they came round with my horrible injection, which also triggered me.
But I think, I would say that just our friends reaching out, the videos, the chats, all the other stuff was just incredible. I mean, we even managed to get you hooked up on Fortnite towards the end of your stay in there.
So
that you could actually join. And do you know what? It was, I very nearly fucking cried because it was just such a normal thing to do.
When I popped up on the little
in the lobby.
And
we could hear you and you're still shit at the game, but we could, you could join in. Made no difference to what you think, but it was just such a normal moment that really touched me. I was like, oh, this is amazing. This is like, she's here.
I mean, the big surprise really is that I do have a heart.
I know.
And not a lump of coal.
This is the thing. They scanned it and they've scanned it a couple of times and they've confirmed that it is not, in fact, coal.
Do indeed have a heart.
Yes. Like the Grinch, it grew 2 sizes that day because of the shock, and then it got squished down, and then so it's smaller than it was before, but you got to work with what you got, right?
Yeah. So now I'm kind of getting over the physical stuff is starting to fade, like all the bruises and the holes in my arms and this and that, but the mental stuff is hanging around a bit. But I think that's to be expected.
Well, what I liked is when I spoke to you and we were talking about it the day, 2 days afterwards, you were like, why didn't you take a picture of me while I was there? I'm like, seriously, I've just walked into a sort of theatre room or whatever it was. 10 people have gone deathly silent.
Say goodbye to me.
And I whip out my phone and take a picture of your fucking king-like sausage fingers.
Like,
and
it's what she would have wanted.
Yeah, your Lego-like head because you got no neck. Fuck off. No, I'm not doing that. And then as you get into ICU, which is where you're like, why don't you take a picture there then? There's like warnings as you go through every door. Like, do not take a picture. We will destroy your phone. We will kill you. I was like, fucking hell. I don't can't.
Yeah, but for me, I didn't know what I looked like.
Well, like imagine yourself, but blown up. Like,
yeah, I could see my hands and arms
like
and fingers were very swollen. My face was very puffy. But
you didn't have a single wrinkle on your face.
Oh, lush.
But you also looked like a balloon. So, I mean, swingers and roundabouts, right? I think there was...
Looked like I had Botox.
Yeah, it definitely like Botox gone wrong. So I think, we wanted to share this story because I think one, it's been quite traumatic. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah.
It's been, and a shared trauma is one less trauma for us and one more for you probably. But I think, we've kind of sat through this and we've talked through it and we've given that story to other people, but also the people that reached out, and we posted some stuff on Instagram because we were just giving updates on how people were or how you were, like updates on Facebook and a little bit of X. But really we felt like, I don't think there's anything for us to talk about from a lifestyle perspective other than like, hey, our friends are amazing. And if you find your tribe, fucking hell, will they support you and back
they'll
you?
be there for you.
They will be fucking there at your back. And I thank them for that. But that's been my biggest, take out from the lifestyle side of things. But my favorite bit is that you're alive, and that is a fucking miracle.
It is a miracle. We're going to celebrate that.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that all these people were there for you. Now, I know I was stuck in hospital, but at least I was safe and being looked after. Whereas you were, we don't really spend time apart like that.
No.
Like the odd night, but nothing like this. So I really worried about you going home with your own kind of thoughts and feeling quite, sad. And it was nice that they were there for you. And, a couple of nights you kind of went and had a coffee with people occasionally, which was nice. And they were there for you as well.
Yeah, yeah. I caught up with some people, cooked dinner one night for someone. And it just, that did help focus things up a bit. I think for the first few days, it was very much all hands on deck. But as we went through the process and you became a bit stronger, despite the additional worries that were thrown our way, it kind of, the pressure felt a little bit off.
Well,
but
I was like waiting, wasn't I?
Yeah, then it's just like waiting for the next scan and there's nothing, not much we can do about that. I think one of my abilities is just like to keep trucking on and I think I do that at work. Like, when there's a shit going down, I just keep moving it. And I think that's what I was doing. I just went into that mode, just keep doing it, just keep, how many fucking litter trays that I clean over 2 weeks? So many, I was literally like, get up, feed the pets, like sort things out, like make sure I ate because that was like key because I didn't really feel like it. I went to the gym a few times because I needed to move a bit.
Escape.
And then literally I was there at your door and then ready with like fetching you coffees when you could have them. And snacks and all that stuff and organising people to visit you, like, because you had so many people at one point, you had to tell people, no, do not come and see me for I am too popular.
Oh, it wasn't like that at all. But it is lovely to know that you have all these friends around you. And I couldn't leave the ward because I was hooked up to this bloody monitor thing all the time. So I couldn't even go and meet people down in the Costa bit. I could only stay on this ward, which was entertaining.
Yeah.
Certainly see life.
But overall, I would say probably 1 out of 10 do not recommend this experience.
As spa experiences go, shocking, absolutely shocking.
You would have more fun going to your local spa and buying one of the hot dogs that are rolling around in the corner there and eating that. That's probably better than this.
And I would also not ever recommend 3 litres of adrenaline, because when you eliminate that fucking stings. It really, really stings.
Oh.
And thanks for coming to my TED poop talk.
TED poop talk. Well, I'm glad that you pointed out that it was poop that you were talking about. That really helps people.
I mean, all of the stuff, it just hurts when it comes out.
Oh, bless you. Well, I'm so glad that you're still around. I'm so happy that you seem to be making recovery, albeit that you're fucking...
I'm grumpy.
You're grumpy. You're a little puff adder.
Yeah.
And you're going around spinning feathers and being like... Rah, 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 rah. But
because I just want to get back to normal. I know I can't just bounce back from this. I know I've got to take it easy, and it's slow progress, because I can't risk doing too much and then setting myself back.
No, and I think that the challenge that you've got is that when you went in, none of this was a problem.
No.
It was going to be, you were solving a problem.
Yeah.
And you were going to be a bit like
sore for a couple of weeks,
and then you'd be like, hey, I feel so much better about this other thing. But now there's a whole host of other problems that we're trying to sort of work through. And we've still got to go back at some point.
Haven't had the actual bloody surgery.
And have the surgery, which, I'm sure will unlock a whole new level of fears.
Oh, the fear of being anaesthetised again is absolutely at the top of my list right now.
I can imagine.
Terrifying.
That's why the testing and the allergy testing is going to be so important. I think you're also trying to understand that you have this time missing. Like, you were not there from 2 till whatever it was the next day.
Yeah.
And it's like 18 hours or something of just time that's gone on that you will never have.
That's one of the things I wrote down. I remember when I found my bit of paper, I'd written down, how long was I asleep? And they said, 19 hours. And I wrote, long nap then. And then, where's Simon?
Yeah.
Where's the kids? What's going on?
Yeah.
Where's my phone?
So I think there's all that to get over, the getting used to what you can do, getting back to like a decent amount of health.
Yeah.
And feeling stronger within yourself. And like already you've been able to do some very, very small walks.
Yeah.
And admittedly, the first couple you shuffled along like Ozzy Osbourne. But I think, you got to realise there's going to be days when it's hard, and there's going to be days when you feel like you're making progress, and days when you take a step back. That's all coming. We know that. But the fact is, you're still fucking here.
I know.
Which is bloody amazing, right?
It is bloody amazing. And I'm very, very blessed. Very thankful for everyone in that room that day.
There we go.
That saved me.
Anything else you'd like to add to that story?
I mean, I'm a bit cross. I can't have a tattoo now.
You might be able to have a tattoo.
Blood thinners.
There's ways
not advisable, apparently.
Well, I think we need to understand what your long-term meds are before we get to that point. But, you don't need another tattoo. You're fine. There's other things you can do.
Yeah, I just want to get back to normal again.
Yeah.
But it will take time, I know.
I think, we've got another string to add to our bow. We've survived anaphylactic shots. Yeah, we've survived heart attacks.
Yeah.
And you're still hopping along. So we'll be back very soon, and we'll be talking about all the different things that have been going on. And I'm sure there'll be adventures to be had. There's a lot.
I'm sure there will be.
The one thing that we have done now so far, or 2 things. We have, one, you can still come. We tested that.
Oh my God.
That's important. People want to know.
That was a new fear. I was like, what if that doesn't work anymore? What if it gives me another little mini heart attack when it,
And then you can have sex. You're fine. We don't know about the testosterone coming back yet. These are all things that we will discover.
I haven't tried that yet.
But this is, we've talked about menopause. Now we can talk about heart issues, and on we go. So if you've got advice, if you've got thoughts, if you've got similar stories, please.
You can relate in some way.
Yeah, reach out, share them, mention them. That would be lovely to hear. We've got things coming up in the future, which we'll be talking about soon.
Yeah.
But until that point,
we're just enjoying being alive.
Yeah. Mrs. H, do your thing.
Well, thank you for hopping into my bed.